Silk originated in China. Around 5,000 to 6,000 years ago, in the middle period of the New Stone Age, ancient people began to raise silkworms to get thread to weave silk cloth. Earlier, based on excavated relics, people commonly thought that silk production in China originated and developed in the country's central plains. However, silk fabric discovered in ruins from the New Stone Age era Liangzhu culture in Zhejiang province in 1958 showed that southern China was another site of the rise of the primitive silk industry. For political and other reasons, the silk industry of South China once lagged far behind that of the Central Plains, but between the 7th and the 9th centuries, silk production exploded in South China. After the 12th century, the focus of China's silk industry gradually shifted from the north to the south. With its warm and humid climate, South China is suitable for growing mulberry trees and raising silkworms all year round. Between the 15th and 16th centuries, silk trade in South China flourished with the emergence of many cities and towns that specialized in silk. In the 18th century, the silk industry of South China reached its peak when official and private silk-making factories coexisted and were prosperous. Suzhou, Hangzhou, Huzhou, and Shenzhe emerged as the four major silk cities and later became known as the capitals of silk and the land of silk. Silk from South China still has a very important position in China's silk industry. Jianrong silk from Nanjing, Hangluo silk from Hangzhou, and Suduan silk from Suzhou are three of China's famous silk products. Huse silk, produced in the Hangjiahu area, is regarded as a treasure, and cloud brocade silk from Nanjing has been called China's best because of the unparalleled production techniques used. The developed silk industry is a major pillar of the economy of South China. Getting rich through honest labor, silkworm raisers work hard every day from morning till night, picking mulberry leaves and feeding silkworms with nearly no time to rest.
这是地上啊，它的条数是25000条。这个咱们开始以来的计件了，要22天到23天。计件的了，15天。
Silkworms are raisers' treasures. They call them babies and look after them as if they were their own children. They make sure they do not get cold or hungry and protect them from being bitten by insects or eaten by rats.
在这儿了，看见？
The success of a silkworm crop determines the income of a raiser's family for a whole year. All raisers fill silkworm-related activities with good wishes and blessings, follow various customs, and worship silkworm gods. In South China, many silkworm gods are worshipped. Yuan concubine Xi Ling of the Yellow Emperor is regarded as the truest goddess of silkworms, and sacrifices are also offered to the Yellow Emperor. Silkworm raisers eagerly await the day when their silkworm infants head up the little hills. Overnight, silkworms transform into white cocoons that look like pear flowers on branches. Seeing this makes raisers very happy. The white cocoons in their hands are like fistfuls of silver.
今年橘子这个质量好的，价钱嘛也依赖的可以的啊。那么估计起来嘛是总归是是70-80块一对的。
When the time to purchase cocoons comes, the cocoon areas are crowded with people. Once silkworm raisers have sold their cocoons, they buy food, clothes, and plan for good days ahead. Through the orderly purchase, examination, and treatment of cocoons, and reeling of silk from them, the silk industry of South China constantly develops. High-quality silk and satin are woven with excellent silk threads. Beautiful and elegant silk clothes make people feel comfortable and confident. How can you tell if silk is pure or not? Try a trial by fire.
炸高温处理，你看它的结果，这是动物的是在燃烧，它的特性是纯白的烟，自动就熄灭了。炭化之前有一股臭臭。
Quilts made of silk floss are light, soft, and breathable, allowing people to enjoy warmth in winter and coolness in summer. These kinds of quilts are very popular in South China. The cheongsam, or qipao, is a characteristically Chinese style of dress that was popular in the 1920s and 1930s in China. In silk qipao, Asian women can show off their graceful figures and beauty. Modern fashion designers often make clothes with silk to artfully combine classical beauty with modern styles. Since ancient times, China's silk industry has been an export-oriented traditional industry. As early as in the 2nd century BC, Zhang Qian was sent as envoy to the western regions and opened the Silk Road from the Central Plains to the west. In the 3rd century, during the Three Kingdoms period, Sun Quan of the Kingdom of Wu forged the maritime Silk Road between China and countries in Southeast Asia. In this way, silk was transported from China to the world. Silk produced in South China creates beautiful clothes for people and propels the economy of South China. Chinese silk, a traditional gem of the Chinese nation, is still developing with a new vitality. Chinese tea culture goes back to ancient times. Chinese people appreciate many kinds of famous teas, as well as tea sets for drinking tea or that can stand on their own as works of art. Red and boccaro teapots produced in Yixing are outstanding. The city of Yixing on the western bank of Taihu Lake has long been known as the capital of pottery. In the Song Dynasty, 420 to 589, people discovered the purplish-brown sandy clay at Yixing that eventually gave rise to the creation of boccaro pottery. Purplish-brown sandy clay is a type of natural soil special to Yixing. Teapots and other vessels made with this clay are solid, refined, bright, and beautiful. According to a popular saying, pottery tea utensils are the best, and high-quality boccaro teapots in particular lead to excellent tea color, aroma, and taste. The charm of boccaro teapots lies in their skillful integration of pottery culture, teapot culture, and tea culture. Purplish-brown sandy clay comes in a range of bright colors, and boccaro teapots are made in myriad shapes. Teapots are decorated with carvings, inscriptions, poetry, calligraphy, or paintings. Yixing boccaro teapots appeared when people began to brew tea instead of simply boiling it. Interests and efforts by sophisticated people led boccaro teapots to become works of art. Since ancient times, famous artists and styles of boccaro art have continuously emerged. Xu Tang is a famous modern maker of boccaro potteryware. His works have distinctive characteristics and come in a variety of themes. The pottery work Awakening is full of life, depicting a young page who gets so entranced by sweet spring water on his way to fetch water from a nearby mountain that he forgets his master at home is waiting for the water to brew tea for guests. Shaping is the most basic process in making pottery and the key to the quality of a teapot.
称它那个泥料在适合的时候做什么哪一道工序，这样呢，它做起来的效果就比较好。
Watching the production of undecorated potteryware is the best way to understand potters' techniques.
像这个活我晒过，要110几件工具。自己做工具可以做到得心应手，什么个要求的工具，自己可以达到自己的要求。人家做的工具呢，不一定会达到我的要求。
Xu Hantang constantly works to improve his skills and use innovative methods. His teapots are beautifully shaped, and he also makes wonderful flower pots. Every famous potter of Yixing has his own special skills.
荷花、青蛙啊，这个呢是一个荷花包、荷花缸，就是我把它配成一个套。那现在呢就差一个碟子，那这个呢就是杯子。
The production of a high-quality teapot requires constant thought and repeated processing until the potter is satisfied with it. After a teapot is shaped, it is fired for 30 hours at a temperature between 1,100 and 1,180 degrees Celsius. Firing is the last step in making a pottery article. Wang Yixian is a skilled potter especially good at making flower teapots. Liu Yaochen is also a famous pottery teapot maker. Raining in a Dream was created when he saw a small bird sitting on a palm leaf in the rain near Taihu Lake. In the changeable colors of purplish-brown sandy clay, he molded the shape of the teapot using the twisting method to create a genuine masterpiece. The craft of inlaying is a unique method of expression in the art of making boccaro teapots. Bao Zhongmei has rich experience in inlaying teapots. In his skilled hands, a 24-karat pure gold wire can be inlaid in a pattern on a teapot to create an integrated whole with added beauty, radiance, and elegance. In recent years, many middle-aged and young artisans have come into prominence. They are doing their best through careful conceptualizing, shaping, coloring, and firing to add contemporary elements to the art of boccaro pottery. Among contemporary pottery artists, Shi Xiaoma has his own uniquely creative vision.
紫砂呢比较特殊的一种陶瓷产品，它这个技法跟做工上完全是那个传统的，但是呢，它这个形式上就是有现代感，直线跟弧线很干净利落。
The teapots in the famous Leopard series made by Gejun show modern concepts and designs and capture the smooth lines and black spots of leopards. This is another teapot created by Gejun named Cicada. The cicada on the teapot is vivid and lifelike. As a child, Lu Junjie learned to craft boccaro teapots from his father and has since mastered the skills of teapot making. He has created a large range of novel and unconventional teapots by combining traditional means of expression with modern aesthetics. Thanks to the painstaking efforts of artisans of many generations, boccaro pottery is a beautiful, radiant, and very alive form of art. In 1131, the ancient city Yuezhou was renamed Shaoxing. Shaoxing today is a beautiful historical and cultural center and the birthplace of many famous people. There are many rivers in Shaoxing and over 3,000 bridges, including the unique historic Bazi Bridge, which has been called China's first flyover. Bazi Bridge is over 700 years old and located in the east of the city at the juncture of 3 streets and 3 rivers. It is shaped like the Chinese character Ba, or 8, the source of its name. Of the many old residences of Shaoxing, the most thought-provoking is the former home of the famous modern Chinese writer Lu Xun. Lu Xun was born in 1881 and spent his formative years here. Behind Lu Xun's old residence is the Garden of 100 Grasses. In his essay From the Garden of 100 Grasses to the Sanwei Studio, Lu Xun wrote of happy times in his youth picking mulberries, playing and catching crickets and birds. Even later, as a famous writer, he still held deep love for this garden. The Sanwei used to be a famous private school in Shaoxing. Lu Xun attended this school from age 12 to 17. He worked hard and was an outstanding student. Lu Xun spent more than 1/3 of his life in Shaoxing. A great and prolific writer, he left behind over 10 million words of writing in essays, translations, and letters. His hometown was a major inspiration for his work throughout his life. The dark awning boat is a means of transportation unique to Shaoxing. When rowing the boat, a boatman needs to use both his hands and feet. The boatman kicks the oar to propel the boat forward and rows the oar to control direction.
鲁迅先生是让你莫要超支，莫要马路，必须要做5公程，到外坡桥呢要做5公程。
Nearly every place in Shaoxing can be accessed by its many rivers and canals. Small and convenient boats can freely make their way around the city like flocks of ducks. A boat tour of the East Lake is a wonderful experience. The famous Tang Dynasty poet Li Bai once wrote in praise of Shaoxing, Jianhu Lake is as bright as the moon, and Yeshi women are as white as snow. Rowing a boat with your new oar, you can appreciate the still water and beautiful scenes. Rice wine brewed with water from Jianhu Lake is sweet and mellow. Shaoxing yellow rice wine is made from glutinous rice and wheat yeast. Using Jianhu Lake water, locals brew richly fragrant Shaoxing yellow wine, considered one of Asia's famous types of alcohol. High-quality wine is brewed in Shaoxing, and the city is filled with wine shops. Lu Shun wrote of the Shaoxing Xianheng wine shop, which has since become a must-see tourist attraction, where guests drink the mellow wine and snack on dried tofu and specially cooked beans. The Shaoxing section of the East Zhejiang Canal has a world-renowned ancient towing path. This well-preserved path is a special sight in this land of water. These historical houses, halls, pavilions, and terraces form cultural scenery unique to South China. Shaoxing leaves visitors with nostalgia for its beautiful waters. Historical and cultural sites have accumulated along the mountains and waters of South China, giving it a progressive and cultivated spirit. The beautiful land of South China leaves indelible memories and dreams in both its native people and guests who visit for just a short time.